And a very good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It's Monday night. It's traditionally a little bit after 9 o'clock. One day we'll actually get the show out on time. But yeah, welcome along to this week's live episode of Tea and Tops. We're back after a slight break, so apologies for no show 2 weeks ago. But here we are back again. As always, my name is Graham. I'm joined by my trusty. Oh, I wouldn't call you a sidekick. That would be very unfair. My trusty co-presenter, Jason. Jason, how are we doing this week?
So good. So it's appropriate we're doing the show tonight because 20 years ago we met.
Oh my God, he's been out in his diary again, everybody.
I have. So yeah, so I went to my first baseball training, and Graham was one of the first people I met. And so yeah, so it's 20 years today that we actually met. That's wild to think that it's been 20 years already.
I guess we probably initially bonded over cigarettes, I would imagine, because we were both smoking at the time.
Yeah, so I think that was exactly what it is. Oh, you're gonna have one? Okay, someone else smokes on the team. Fantastic. All right, we're good to go. Yes, okay. Not everyone's healthy here, so
never mind all these keeners who are actually trying and like not smoking between between training. Yeah. Well, there we go. Look at us.
So those you don't know, we all met through baseball here in Edinburgh, and we have a good circle of friends, the five of us that all kind of joined within the same period of time there, and it's been a lifelong bond that we still hang out with each other and pretty much talk to each other every day. So it's quite a nice anniversary to commemorate. It's been 20 years.
20 years, very cool. So that of course marks 20 years for you in this fine nation then as well, right?
Yep, we passed that about a month ago.
Of course,
back. Yeah.
Did you get a letter from the king or anything, or not?
It's still weird to hear the king.
Yeah, I know, man. I had to check myself when I was concocting that in my head. I was like, no, it's not the Queen anymore.
No. Maybe when I have 20 legal years in the UK.
Well, so in 17 years we'll be. Not quite. Well, there you go. That's a lovely little landmark to start this week's event. So we had episode 50 was our last episode, and here we go. We're staring down the barrel of 2 decades. You say knowing each other through this wonderful thing called baseball. And I guess a good time to shout out the rest of the guys. We've all split to the 4 corners of the earth now, pretty much. Only yourself and Ross, I suppose, from the original gang, still reside in Edinburgh. I've gone north ish and gone to Aberdeen, and now we have other members of the group in Canada, and then 2 in the States, and Florida, both of them ironically in Florida, and of course how can we forget Big Sam down in Australia. So yeah, if you're listening, gentlemen, good evening, and I do hope you voted for us in Podcast of the Year, which is a delicious segue, and of course the last time for 2023 certainly that I'll get to open the show with around about a minute and a half of drivel about how good we are. But yeah, if you're listening to us live or indeed watching us on YouTube or perhaps on Facebook, and it's on or slightly before the 28th of June of 2023, then there's still time to go and vote for us for Podcast of the Year. The voting closes June the 28th. That is this Wednesday. With the award show coming this Saturday in God's country down in Edinburgh. Jason, unfortunately, you'll be stateside by that point, so Jason will not be my date for the award show. I do have a very suitable stand-in, though, in our good friend Ross, who'll be coming with me to the award show. So, yeah, if anyone's going to be around at this Scottish card show, trade night on Saturday night, because I don't actually have tickets to the show. I've only got tickets to the trade night and the award ceremony. So, yeah, you'll feel free to come and say hello when I'm sobbing into my pint having not won Podcast of the Year, or perhaps I'll be dancing on the stage having actually won Podcast of the Year. So yeah, please go and visit us, teaandtops.com. There's a link there to the voting form. Head down to that podcast section and put a tick in our box, please. You've got 2 days left to do it. I think I'll set up some scheduled social media posts to go off every 7 minutes, like my iPhone alarm, to remind you to go and vote for the next 2 days. So, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, if you are going to make it to the Scottish Card Show trade night at Easter Road Stadium this coming weekend, come find me, come and say hello. That'd be kind of nice.
And we are bribing you to vote. We will pick a winner. I have 4 cards here, 4 Project 2020 and Project 70 cards there, and the winner gets to pick the one they want, or if it's not the team or player you like, we can work something out there. But yes, we are definitely going to bribe you to vote for us as much as possible there.
48 hours to get those bribes in. So But yeah, let's see. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to the awards. And it would be good to. I'm not sure how many of the nominees are, well, for a start, Scotland based, or indeed making the trip up, or if they're making the trip up, if they're actually going to the awards night or not. So it'd be kind of interesting to meet some other people from the trading card community. Yeah, it'll be an interesting time, I think.
And Tops will be there. Tops UK is going to be there.
Tops UK will be there. That's right. They're certainly at the main show on the Saturday and Sunday. Like I say, I wasn't quick enough to get tickets to the actual show, so I've only got tickets to the trade night on the Saturday, and with my having to come back up the road to Aberdeen on the Sunday, I didn't bother picking up a ticket for the show on the Sunday. So, but yeah, the trade night should certainly be fun. I may stick a few choice items in my pocket and take them down and see what I can trade. I'll trade away all my DJ LeMahieu rookies, perhaps for some shiny Charizards or Bulbasaurs. Who knows? So I'm not sure quite how much representation baseball will have or tends to have at the shows, but it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trade night experience. That should be kind of fun.
Yep, I'm pretty gutted that I'm going to go there, considering it's right on my doorstep. If I'd ever had a few people ask me if I was going, and funny enough, somebody I ran into actually was going to the show.
Oh well, there we go. Yeah,
yeah. I can't remember who it was. I think it was somebody from work, and they were definitely going because they were into Pokemon Go. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I was nominated for an award for my podcast." And they're like, "You have a podcast?"
Well,
like, yes, I'm not just a 47-year-old white dude.
Yeah. Well, so the fact that we've been nominated for Podcast of the Year made at my 9 to 5, it made a very large meeting of all of the IT team for my company. That's quite a sizable number because the company itself is over 27,000 people, I think, at the moment. So yeah, it was held up as a shining example of something that should be celebrated by members of the team who have cool things going on in their lives that deserve recognition and reward. So if there's been a late flurry of voting from all around the world, I swear to God, it's not me hacking the system. I managed to get my 10 seconds to try and encourage people to go and vote for us. So that was kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting it. I was attending the meeting whilst working on a background task, shall we say. So in other words, I was merely listening, and then I heard my name get called twice, and I was like, "What the deuce?" And I had to go and very quickly pull Teams to the front of my stack of windows, and yet lo and behold, there's my ugly corporate mugshot with our show logo in a full page PowerPoint slide with a link to tntops.com for people to go and vote. So that was very unexpected and actually kind of cool. So that was I totally forgot to tell you that story. That happened on, I think, Thursday or Friday. I need to go back and check my calendar.
Oh wow!
All the days are merging into one at the moment for various different reasons, but we won't go too deep into that. But yeah, that was a very unexpected thing that happened at the back end of last week. So that was quite cool.
Know. Might get some new customers out of it. But it's also a nice icebreaker to go, "Oh, you've got a podcast. What's it about?" Then you tell them, "That's cool."
Yeah, right. or you tell them when they go, "What?" Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're too lazy to make it about generally about trading cards. No. We focus very specifically on baseball trading cards. Which is ironic, given that we're opening the show this week with a story that is not about baseball trading cards. But there we go. So I know that was beautiful. Like I had 2 weeks of really shaky segues, and I feel like I'm 2 for 2 already tonight. So let's see if we can keep that pace up. So yeah, hot on the back of the Drew Jones Superfractor $1 million bounty. David Adams are back at it with another $1 million bounty. This time for I'm going to get the proper name of it, but I need to wait for my really slow computer to catch up. So Lord of the Rings and Magic the Gathering, have done a Lord of the Rings set, and the One Ring card. Oof, that's kind of difficult to say. There's currently a bounty out on that for $1 million. So David Adams announced this a couple of weeks ago now, and had originally stated that that the bounty would expire on the 17th of July. However, they've recently updated that, and there will be no expiration on the bounty. So if you're opening that particular product, and you are lucky enough to pull the one of one, what's it called? It's called Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth. There you go. There's the full product name. And if you pull the one of one, the One Ring card, then you can consider yourself $1 million better off. It's a great looking card, if nothing else. I don't know anything about the TCG universe. I feel like if I disappear off down that rabbit hole, you're never going to see me again. And I'm going to emerge with a very strange beard, and I'll be into LARPing and doing things like that. And I'm not sure I'm quite ready for that yet, if I'm honest. But yeah, super, super cool looking card. So yeah, good luck if you're hunting. I almost feel like opening some boxes of that just because like it's a really good looking set. Yeah, there we go. Another $1 million bounty out in the wild.
Wow. Well, I can set you up with my brother-in-law. He's into LARPing, so you're good to go.
Is he really? That's an interesting twist. I didn't realize that.
Oh yes, he makes his own chainmail and then goes LARPing that way.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, if you're going to do it, right?
Well, I remember he's trained as a jeweler, so and he had some time on those long, and now he's a ship. He works the Swedish Coast Guard, but he was like driving oil tankers for a while there. So you got a lot of time on the boat. You can make your own chainmail. What else are you gonna do?
What else? Well, I don't know. Drive the boat, maybe.
It's all autopilot,
Oh yeah, I'm learning all about the world of dynamic positioning systems and goodness knows whatever else at the moment. As my my latest career kind of rides up alongside that somewhat. But anyway, that's a story for a different day. Yeah, well, there we go. David Adams chucking around $1 million like you wouldn't believe. Like I say, with the Drew Jones just gone, now we've got a Lord of the Rings bounty. Interestingly enough, I guess we had speculated somewhat that with the release of 2023 Top Series 2 baseball, there might be another Golden Mirror bounty put in place, which I believe was blowout cards last time, but somebody's going to shout at me and tell me that I'm wrong. And that it wasn't. it was David. It was either David Adams or blowout. I can't remember. No $250,000 bounty this time for Series 2 Golden Mirror variations, although the Golden Mirror variations are available, of course, in 2023 Topps Series 2. So just the one active bounty at the moment that we're aware of. This is actually quite a cool thing now that these that retailers, I guess, are doing, because these aren't like official Topps things. These are just retailers doing it off their own back. But it brings an interesting twist to the hobby. If nothing else, it maybe fuels box purchases. Not that it really needs any help right now, but yeah, these are quite cool little promotions.
I think it's cool. You're gonna get a whole kind of different collectors into the game, and if it's a gateway drug to go, hey, let's buy a couple of boxes here for fun. I like Lord of the Rings, and you happen to hit the $1 million bounty. Why not? So
why not, right? Well, there you go. I'm talking about it. I'm no Lord of the Rings fan. I'm no Magic the Gathering fan. Yeah, but those cards look cool, dude. They look awesome.
I mean, I have a feeling they're gonna hold no value, but I would definitely. I mean, let's honest. Like, even the 1-1 card, like I said, it's worth $1 million because someone's paid $1 million for it. Doesn't mean you're gonna turn around and sell it for $1 million there. But I absolutely would think about maybe buying a box or two to see if you pull it or not, and then quickly sell it as soon as it touches my
just flip. Get those things listed on eBay pronto, and then just see what happens. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. I have no idea the price point of the product. I didn't research it that hard before the start of the show. I don't like to. I kind of like to get a feel for it and think, oh yeah, I actually quite like this. And then if I develop a like for it, then I'll go and research and think and figure out is it worth the punt, shall we say? But
my gosh,
Laura's answered the question.
Oh. Wow, that's not cheap.
$450 to $500 a box. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, that's not cheap. I mean, if you're getting like 500 cards, then I guess that's value. But I'm suspecting you're probably not. I'm not going to Google it because it absolutely will send my laptop into full chug mode. But then $450 to $500 a box. We've discussed product pricing more than enough times on this show. That puts it just in line with about any other premium release these days. I've seen Disney cards going for that money, so it's whatever you're into, I guess. But maybe it's not quite worth a fun punt at $500 a box. Yeah, maybe not.
I'm currently doing it now, but then again, I mean, we're obviously not the target market here, and obviously the dollars and pounds and what things are worth in the States and things are here are different there. Where $400 to $500 a box is expensive, but not that expensive. But we're going, holy shit, 350 quid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No way that's gonna happen. So
yeah. Well, funny pricing may feature in a future segment in the show, so we'll maybe slide deliciously away from that for the meantime, because it's sort of starting to. I mean, pricing's always open to conjecture, I guess. But and for a while, we were seeing some kind of parity between US and the UK pricing availability, but things seem to be sliding again. But we shall get on to that. So yeah, if you're, go on. Sorry, you've heard it.
So you get 12 packs in your box, but it doesn't say how many cards in the box, and that's a booster box.
Booster. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's still a lot. You're still looking at probably $3-4 a card at that. So, oh well, if you're playing in that space, good luck to you. Maybe if I win the lottery, I'll grab a case. But until such time, I shall watch from afar. We'll see we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, good luck to you if you're opening some boxes. And you remember, David Adams have got you covered for $1 million if you pull that one ring card. So.
Yeah, so this is 15 cards per pack, and then they've got a kind of bunch.
15 per pack. Oh, that's quite generous. So
yeah, and then you get the various kind of combinations of rare and higher rares and uncommons and all that there. So it's kind of the bunt kind of thing there, and yeah. So if it's anyone who actually watches the show or listens to the show, if you're into this, like, buy a pack, let us know. I'd love to hear about this more, because
if you listen to the show and you go and spend $500 on a box, come tell us about it. I want to hear about
that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's out of my price range. I'll be honest. Like,
hell yeah, yeah.
Unless I take my national gig and trade up to get a box of it, which I'm not going to do.
No. But isn't it funny, because I've made no secret of my enjoyment of Topps Tribute, which at the minute I believe is about $470 on pre-order, and I look at that and go, But then I'm far more invested in the world of baseball card collecting than I am in Magic the Gathering or indeed Lord of the Rings. I guess if I was into either of those things, I'm sure view it the same way, where you think, well, actually, there's a premium product that's a really nice product. That's not an insignificant amount of cards either, 180 cards. So you're only looking at sort of $3 a card, really, by the time you do the maths on it. But yeah, I guess if I was as interested in that world as I am in the world of baseball cards, then perhaps I would see it as better value. I mean, Topps Tribute, you ain't getting anything like that number of cards in your box, and it's same kind of money. But then you are getting relics, you are getting game used, and you are getting autographs and stuff. But we will talk about Topps Tribute in the next episode, because it's not due out until the 12th, and we have another show to do between now and the 12th. So yeah, I'm going to save my Topps Tribute talk for the next episode.
I mean, it must be pretty cool. I mean, because if you're spending that much on the cards, it's got to be a nice high quality card, so you're not feeling cheated. It's not like some cheap product they just thrown out there. They've clearly put some time and effort to think about the rarities and to have that there. So I'll keep my eye out for them when I'm stateside and see if I see anything, because I'm definitely going to find time to visit at least one local card shop before I hit Chicago. So
that's a great idea. I'm talking of local card shops. 3 for 3. Look at that.
We're on it.
Delightful.
Toss up a softball for you.
Here you go, man. Thanks, dude. I love that. I love that soft toss. Here we go. So just this week, Topps have made a change to, so this has been kind of reported through the world of Facebook groups, and one small paragraph has been chopped from Topps online account terms and conditions. So we have to take this in its singularity. I don't have wider context for this, but the part that's caught everybody's eye is that Topps have made a change to their online account terms and conditions, and it's interesting. And in fact, if you're a fan of terms and conditions, we are not done. We're going to talk Topps terms and conditions, and then we're moving on to our next hot terms and conditions item, which I'll save as a surprise. So we're all about terms and conditions this week. I shall read it, and I shall try and make it as entertaining as I can whilst reading a legally binding agreement. So the latest update says, products purchased through an account are for distribution through the stores identified in the account information attached hereto only. So what we can take from this first sentence is that this is an account type, or this is an agreement that is specific to or between Fanatics / Tops, whoever, and owners of local card shops. So that is owner of brick and mortar stores. For clarity, products are for resale directed to consumers in a physical retail brick mortar environment only in the product's original unopened form. For example, no business to business or online sales unless otherwise agreed by Tops in writing. So got to be unopened, so no breaks, and it's got to be physical walk-ins only. So if you're a card shop owner and you have your little shop, and maybe you have your little website that goes along with your shop, those of us who are into or have even dabbled slightly in the world of e-commerce know that even your off-the-shelf e-commerce solutions such as Shopify, such as Squarespace, such as WooCommerce or whatever will happily support a brick and mortar store alongside an online store. So they've kind of put the kibosh on that as well. It's only for people who walk in and physically buy the stuff from your store. So you cannot market your stuff online unless Tops agree to it, of course. Now, this could be something that's common, and perhaps it's one of the things they are quite willing to let slide. The big guys that we talk about all the time, and David Adams. David Adams, certainly. I don't know if Blowout has a retail location. It must do, because you can't be a Panini authorized partner without having a brick and mortar store. But David Adams, certainly, who we're way more aware of in Europe because they have their store in the Netherlands. Obviously, operate online as well as operating brick and mortar. So it'll be interesting to see how those guys are affected by this, or indeed have they already got permission to list online, which we kind of have to assume that they do. It goes on to say, retailers shall not use its account for personal shopping, and products shall not be used for repacks unless authorized in writing in advance. So again, from that we can take that if you own your LCS, you're buying stock for your LCS, you can't sit and rip it and try and find that Drew Jones 101 Superfractor. You got to keep your product sealed, so you can't be using it for yourself, and you have to sell your boxes sealed. So you can't repack packs, you can't repack individual cards again without Tops's express written consent. Retailer may use products for in-store breaks, provided that breaking slots may not be sold or solicited online or to anyone not physically present in the retailer's store at the time of the break. Further, the direct buying program is for established brick and mortar retail stores only, which have 4 walls. So if you've got 3 walls, you're screwed, and which are not contained within another / larger store or retail environment. I'm trying to figure out what that encompasses, because I think if you have a little store in a mall, does that exclude you from this? I'm not really too sure. The US retail is obviously a little bit different. Strip malls are far more common, but I can't see that being the case because those are all self-contained units. So I don't know if that is a go at a card shop that would be inside of a mall. I doubt it. But I can't think of another retail setup where that would be aimed at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like strip malls. Like my local card shop growing up was in a strip mall. So yeah, and that. And
my God, I choked on my Coke. That was a terrible time to take a drink.
I was trying to fill the air there.
I saw your face. Your face saw my face choking. I went, "Oh, I need to talk more."
But like the 3 local card shops I can think of top of my head were all in strip malls. So
yeah, but they would all have their own exterior door out into the public. It's not like they were part of a larger indoor mall type thing.
Yeah.
So unless that's what they're aiming at, or maybe if it's like say you own a sporting goods store and have a small retail cabinet with cards in, maybe something, like I guess Dick's Sporting Goods like to do that.
Big Five, yeah. There's always a couple like packs that are sitting there you can kind of grab and
yeah.
Oh yeah, Johnny needs another pack of cards here. Let's just grab this in the way.
Yeah, which is interesting. They would seek to exclude that specifically from this, but then it's this is specifically for the direct buying program. There will be other programs, I would imagine, but fear not. There's more excitement as we're not quite finished. So the final part of it, online-only retailers (brackets including retailers with majority of sales volume derived from online sales) close bracket, are not eligible for this direct buying program. Any account found non-compliant with the foregoing may be terminated immediately. So, if you're a large online retailer, or I guess a large online breaker, then this account type is not for you. So when this story kind of broke and people were commenting on it, I think they were looking at it very much from the perspective of there will only ever be one Tops account type, and this is the death of breakers because Fanatics/Tops are going to be launching their own break platform. However, I don't really think that's the case, and obviously you and I discussed it a little bit when the news broke. But as I said in my Facebook comment, I said, I reckon this is probably a good move, and it feels like they're trying to potentially fill that void that's going to be left by the fact that Tops have cancelled a lot of the contracts that they had with the major distributors like Southern Hobby and GTS Distribution and companies like that. We reported on that. Oh, it must be maybe a year ago. It feels like it was the middle of last year. It was a long time ago, where that news broke that Tops would no longer be were cancelling their distribution contracts with these massive distributors. So this feels like Fanatics' answer to that part of the business. So this is a very specific thing aimed at your local card shop owner and is done in some way, I would imagine, to help protect the supply of product for that market. If there's one thing that card owners that I've spoken to complain about, or we hear them complain about the most, is getting allocation and getting access to products. It was becoming harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting at the National because we'll actually run into a lot of people there and kind of actually listen to them and see what they have to say there, because we'll have a full month of everything kind of settling in, because it only came out Friday, Thursday.
Yeah, this is relatively new. Yeah, it was, I think, just over the weekend that this was noticed and certainly hit the main artery of the US collecting community.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to get their take on that. I guess we don't have any retailers really go call up and be like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? What's your take on
it?" Yeah, I mean, we could try and get hold of somebody from Tops EU, but
we've tried unsuccessfully for a year.
Yeah. Please stop ignoring us, Tops. Hello.
Yes.
Especially with a tribute around the corner, because your boy would love to plug it in return for a free box.
Oh, absolutely. Or two. We need one each, just to make sure.
One each. Yeah. Shit, I'll take a promotional pack at this stage. Come on, man. So yeah, interesting changes then with the verbiage around having a Tops account. Like I say, this will is obviously part of a larger move to align different accounts or different retail models to different account types and to keep things in line. Again, it'll be interesting to I'm sure we will hear further developments related to this, especially as it pertains to breakers. Obviously, breakers are a massive business, not just in the US, but over here as well. Again, we've spoken at length in previous episodes about why, but as we've just seen with Lord of the Ring cards, not everyone can fork over 500 quid or $500 for a box of baseball cards. So getting into breaks and stuff can often be the most efficient way to get into new release product. And if you're only interested in collecting the cards for your specific team, then it makes perfect sense. You buy the slot for your team, you get those cards. You don't have to deal with a bunch of shed long year 4 cards that you don't want, and then everybody's happy. Unless you're a shed long super collector, of course.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's a couple of breakers I would love to see go under. But
the definition breaker is real loose from where it was, I guess, 5 years ago when I started doing it. And yeah, now any I can't think of a better way of putting it. So any fuckwit with a mobile phone and a Whatnot account can consider them a breaker, consider themselves a breaker now. And, platforms like Whatnot and whatever else have made it far more accessible, far more like the Wild West. We've never really spoke about it because I haven't really investigated those platforms in any great depth yet. But be prepared for special episodes in the future about these platforms. Safe to say they don't have a very good reputation at the moment, but whether we like it or not, they're all over the place. See, there was a big Whatnot stand at the London card show at the last one. I mean, again, I think we've discussed a little bit in the past that breaking in the UK runs fairly close alongside gambling regulation, and depending on how you pitch yourself and how you're pitching your breaks, you may stand to fall foul of the gambling laws here in the UK. So it's already, I guess, it's maybe not grey area, but it's certainly not. You're not fully in the white. You're somewhere between white and grey. Possibly, or I don't know, maybe the color of your T-shirt, but so yeah,
Heather Gray. We're gonna go with
Heather Gray. Is that what that is? Yeah, I'm really happy you didn't say it's green. Being as I am completely colorblind. Well, not completely colorblind, but so yeah, interesting stuff from Topps there. If you're into your terms and conditions, and we'll see how the different account types play out, and like I say, how they're going to balance these different retail models, between traditional LCS, and you've obviously got your big online resellers, and then you've got your breakers there as well in the US. So it'll be interesting to see how they're planning to keep everybody happy. I guess they don't have to, because they don't suffer from the benefit of competition, because they have all the licenses for all the products. So I guess they can do whatever the heck they want.
Yep, because monopolies are only good for people. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ain't that the truth, right? Golly, we'll need to do an Enron special or something soon. I don't know.
It's funny you say that, because I follow the Bunt Reddit group, and obviously and stuff there, and you just see the penny finally drop for a lot of people going, wait, is Bunt gonna die a death now because Fanatics own it, and they hadn't realized that because they just focused on Bunt there, and they were like, oh, I've invested years in the Bunt, I really don't want to see it go away. And of course everyone was like, no, it's not going away, not at all. It may have shifted slightly, but yeah, I don't see it going away anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. Fanatics, I mean, we need to go back and pick the bones out of the actual deal when it got done, but Topps Digital was included in the sale to Fanatics. So, and yeah, obviously if they have the license for the physical world, they have the license for the digital world as well. So, but yeah, it would appear their focus is very much on the physical world at the moment. They need to try to get all their ducks in a row for that, which makes perfect sense, because as popular as Bunt is, I'm sure the physical space is where the real money's at. So yeah,
absolutely. Bunt's just like a bonus. Like, you pay a couple of developers to upload the same photos up there. And you go, all right, craft away, buddy.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, we joke about the fact that there's probably like two guys in their basement writing a few lines of code every week. I bet they have a team of like 200 devs or something on this. Do you know what I mean? Certainly between like their family of apps, with Bunt and Star Wars and Disney and Topps Kick. If Topps Kick is still going, Skate as well.
Kick doesn't exist, Skate does. So, and they had the NFL one. I think so. I think it was announced that they were.
It was trash. It was not good. But yeah, I mean, are you still playing Panini Blitz? We should save this for the Bunt segment.
No,
of the show,
I'm not. But yeah, we'll bring up that. But no, I'm not. I gave up on that. So
you gave up on Blitz, yeah. So do I. Yeah, I remember it's on my phone because every so often I get an alert from it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we will circle back to Bunt, because that's one of our standing segments on the show. But before that, we must move on to terms and conditions update number 2. Oh yeah, the adrenaline this week in the show.
I'm going to change the name now. The terms and conditions.
We've updated your terms and conditions. It's like the emails I seem to get every month at the minute from my credit card providers telling me that they've made an update to their terms and conditions because they're changing their interest rates. So not only Topps, this is reasonably, I would say this is warm off the press. I think it may have come out, it certainly seems to have got shot through the card collecting groups on Facebook just today, but eBay are making changes to the way that trading card singles are listed on their platform. So depending on how you listed your individual trading card before, you had the choice to mark it as new or used, which I get. In fact, you didn't even get the chance to do it as new if you were selling a single. The only condition qualifier you could put on it was used, which makes sense because it's not new because you've taken it out of the pack. But it's also not a very fair way, I guess, of describing an individual trading card. People take care of their cards. Every collector takes care of their cards, unless you're 8 and your fingers are mostly covered in jam and you're opening, you're putting your jammy fingerprints all over stuff. If you're taking it serious and you're selling on eBay, everyone takes care of their cards. So to say that it was used was never the best way to describe a single trading card. So now the main qualifier for the condition of a card is going to be, is it graded, yes or no? And that's going to be the question they ask you about condition. If you answer yes, then you have to, I think they're making it a mandatory field now. You have to put in the grader and you have to put in the grade that the card got. And I imagine they'll probably put in an optional thing to put in the serial number of the card or the certification number of the grade, which I believe you can do at the moment, but it is an optional field, and a lot of people don't actually like to do it. And a lot of people like to blur out the serial number on their cards, especially PSA cards. It's where you tend to see it most commonly, so that their label can't be spoofed. But it's very easy to spoof a PSA label. Just go look up the registry and search 2018 Shed Long rookie card or whatever, and it'll come up, and you can see the certification numbers, and you can see pictures of the actual card, the actual final graded card with the label and everything intact. So you're not really saving too much by doing it, but I get why you would do it. You want to make people's lives as difficult as possible. So this is a listing that was apparently coming from New Listings starting June 2023 with no actual date. So I listed a few things just a week ago, and I still had to put everything down as used. So it certainly hadn't filtered through to Tops UK by last Sunday, but I've not listed anything new this week. So I don't actually know if that's changed here yet or not. Excuse me, I don't even know if this is a change that will come to eBay UK. I imagine these things are fairly global. So I imagine once it changes on tops on ebay.com, we'll also see it on eBay UK, but not yet.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be a global change, and you just kind of do it all at once. I can't imagine it's that difficult to do. So,
no, not at all. If you choose that your card is ungraded, then you do get the option to further qualify that by saying, is it near mint or better, excellent, very good, or whatever. But you get to pick that rating, and on an ungraded card, I would never ever select that. So you can actually do that right now. I always leave it blank on whenever I'm listing cards, because my interpretation of something that is excellent may be somebody else's very good, and it just opens up the potential for conversations, shall we say, after your buyer is in receipt of your card. If you've listed something as excellent and they open it and think, this isn't excellent, this is very good, I'm going to have a go at eBay to get my money back, or other shady practices. So yep. I would only ever go by a condition that a professional has determined my card to be.
But you see that with shady listings all the time. They're like, oh, this would grade a 10. And then, people send it in and go, oh, I got an 8. So I want my money back. So you're just opening yourself up to more hassle than it's worth,
Exactly.
Just go look. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Send it yourself, find out.
That's it. Yeah. Put accurate photos in. That's the thing. Put in, if you take the time to put in a couple of high quality images of the card that you're selling, and then a little bit of text and description to say pictures on the listing or of the actual card you will receive, and then let the buyers make up their own mind from there. I would never be so bold as to try and as to nail my colors to the cross of how good or otherwise my card presents, because it's far too open to conjecture.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a giant grading microscope to look at the surface of all these things, anyways.
No.
So
exactly. So there you go. There's a little bit of a change to eBay listings. Another cheeky terms and conditions update. And that brings us to the conclusion. This week's fascinating section of terms and conditions in the trading card industry.
Yes.
Tune in for another high octane adventure in the next episode. It'd be funny if we could find something, right? Imagine if this became a recurring feature. Oh, some terms and conditions have changed.
We would have to bring in Paul Lesko.
I was going to say we need to get Paul Lesko in for the legal corner or something. I don't know. We'll come up with a snappy title for it.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the Topps versus Panini court case never really grew into anything. That would have been a fantastic topic for the show 2 weeks past if we had done it, actually. But Topps and or Fanatics, I should say, sorry, and Panini were due to square off in court. But as I guess was maybe expected, they sort of kind of settled a little bit without it going into a public courtroom, and that was all a bit of a damp squib. But that was unfortunate.
Yeah, everyone pulled their dicks out and then they didn't measure it. So
that's a fantastic way of putting it. I can't think of an interesting way to segment that into or segue that into Topps Bunt. So I'll let you try and figure one out.
Size matters. Okay. So
it's all about the length, and I believe you've got some long length in Topps Bunt.
Oh no, it was interesting we brought Paul because I still I don't know if you ever saw it. So this guy Ryan Fairmuller, I'm probably butchering his surname there. He's a big collector of Project 2020 and Project 70 there. He took the poster from I'm trying to think of who it was there. It's not Superfly, it was the shoe guy, not the shoe guy. Soulfly, and it was a Shohei Ohtani card that never got produced. And he bought the poster and cut it out, and then he took the top shipping label and put that on the back there and created his own Soulfly Shohei Ohtani card. Now he had posted looking to see if anyone else had kept the receipt, and I forgot I saw it. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I'll get in touch with Ryan at some point in time, and never did. Completely forgot. And he actually reached out to us, said, "Hey, do you still have this?" Because I'd posted a picture of it way back when I got my shipment, and I did. So I actually have Paul's address, and I'm sending him I was like, I have to remember now, but yes, I still have the shipping receipt, and I have them there.
Wow!
I was gonna make my own version of it, and I'm just too lazy. And I hadn't actually thought to go and buy the poster to cut it out and make my own card because I was going to have somebody print one out and put it on a Project 70 card. So I had it. But I've been thinking about that for like a year. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to mail it to Paul. He's going to appreciate it more than I will. So
that's pretty cool. That was quite the drama at the time as well. So they'd used unlicensed manga art or something on the card. Is that right?
It was very similar to a manga art there with this Shohei Ohtani there. It was like the Ace of Spades manga cartoon, and basically it was Shohei's head on it there. So it was just an exact replica there. I mean, we ran into that a few times with Project 70 where people did a few unlicensed stuff. There was the Old Man Allen who used the obvious card shirt for the El Mago shirt card that he had there, and so. But yeah, so it was interesting that we were talking about terms and conditions, and Paul came up, and I was like, yes, I forgot. I'm saving a few pounds by waiting until I go to the States to put it in the mail for him.
That's pretty good. I would also like to point out that you just referred to manga as a cartoon, and now people are going to be chasing you through Edinburgh with pitchforks.
You know what? I'm going away for a month. Don't forget about it. Back.
That's great. So you're shooting your shots now because you're leaving the country. I like it.
By the time this is released, I'm out of the country. We're good to go.
I would like to state for the record, I do not endorse the views of Mike Host because I'm staying here.
So yes, okay, it's anime or manga or whatever you call it there. Yeah, I mean, growing up for me, it was Japanimation and.
Japan, wow, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not a bad show.
Yeah. So that was a Japanimation was what it was called originally that I remember, and then it went to we can actually pronounce anime, so we'll call it anime.
Anime. There we go. All right,
Anyways,
excellent. Anyways, yeah. So back to my delightful segue about length and Topps Bunt. We're going to talk a bit about heritage.
So yes, so it's really changed with bunt now. Like I'm really not enjoying bunt. I kind of get on. It's just not that enjoyable now. So what's come out there? We'll talk about Heritage second, but Deco came out while we're gone there, and that's a fairly all right set. But the problem is if you do the base set there, you can craft it, and there's a 1 of 6. I think it's a super rare card. You can get that there. So we virtually have to go through the deco set 6 times to get that super rare set, and they don't list the amount of numbers on there, so it's absolutely worthless. So there's no card count on that there. You can only guess how many of those cards are out there. So
jeez, yeah.
So you know what, they can absolutely put the numbers there. The Topps chooses not to put the numbers out there, so you don't know how shit your super rare card is. And you know, I at first I was like, oh, it's gonna be pretty cool. That's only 40 cards, so I'm looking at 240 packs. Okay, that's a bit much to kind of get the set. And then, oh, it's not numbered. No, I'm not gonna waste my coins that I've frivolously used over the last couple months. There, kind of trying to get excited about something for bunt, and it's just not happened. And what did they bring out?
Do they just have NA then as the card count? When you view the individual cards, is that what it shows?
Yep. So when you do the crafting one, so you can still, I believe, you can still look at the card count for the Deco common cards. So say 30,000 cards that are out there. But once you craft it into that super rare card,
you have no idea.
That's idea.
Terrible. Yeah.
So you're seeing a lot of people complaining about that, because I'd rather know that it's got a 5,000 card count, so I know the value to trade somebody. But
that's it. Yeah. It's about the trade value, or if you're one of the unscrupulous people that sell them on eBay, then it's about the eBay value as well. But that's like there's another terms and conditions feature. You're not allowed to sell your bunt cards. Don't talk about it in the app because you'll get kicked out. But yeah, it kind of hurts if you don't know the card counts specifically.
Yeah, everyone in the community is kind of going, well, just think of it as your same as the rain cards, the top 100 cards. Just go, you know what, it's not worth a thing. So kind of disappointing, because it's always good to know the card count just to have a value of what it is there. But that's what it is there. But Topps threw us for a giant curveball. So the latest one is the Heritage event, and it's going on for 6 weeks. No. Yeah, it is 6 weeks. Sorry, I was doing the math wrong there. No, it's 8 weeks. It's an 8-week long event. I'm doing funny math here.
2 months. Wow.
So it's an 8-week long event where it's a 400 card set common one, which is fine. I think you get 8 cards with three of the commons go in there and 1 uncommon. So then you also have the 400 set of uncommons there. So you've got to spend at least, I think it was 2 million. I think it was either 1.6 million or 2 million to get those set of uncommons if you collected everyone there.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So not only that, you can craft the high number base card set, which is another 100 card set. So you're looking at a 500 card set.
Golly, so they've just crashed everything in together. So of course, in the physical world, that would be spread out over 2 releases, which I suppose, making it a 2-month long event maybe makes it slightly doable. But yeah, in the physical world, that would be 2 different releases. So you would have your Topps Heritage set, and then that would be followed up a few months later by Heritage High Number. So that seems quite strange. They bundled it all together, but Topps do, right?
Topps do what Topps do. So obviously they thought it was a good idea to have a 2-month long event that people get tired of the cards fairly quickly. And grinding along with no reward, because you're not making any coins out of it. So you go, okay, I've got to drop at least, I think it was 1.6 million to get the basic set, and then spend more if you decide that. So
to try to do the big set. Yeah, I can tell by your tone that you're over their shit.
Yeah, you know what, I was looking for. There's no events. Like I'm really frustrated that I can't build my coins up. I know Barry had said he finally reached the 15 million coin mark, and that's awesome.
Cracked 10 million on Saturday.
Mine keeps dwindling. I keep. It's kind of fun. Like I don't know. I spent way too much on the sticker set because I like the sticker set, and it took me a while to complete that. But there's just no incentive to keep kind of going on because there's no coins there. And I guess, like I said, we've had some pretty awesome events. First it was the tribute one, and then it was Heritage. So I'm really hoping
that's the thing. They've done really good heritage events in the past, right?
Well, it changes every year. So it was, I can't remember what it was in 2020. I know I looked into it, but we happened to luck out and we joined during it was triple threads in 2020, tribute in 21, heritage last year. So we're still doing an event where we actually can build some coins.
We're still due a good event. Come on, Tops, you can do one a year, surely.
Exactly. So hopefully with I'm guessing Inception that maybe it will come out, because if they keep going with a difference every year, and eventually when Inception comes out, there'll be a sweet Inception event, because we're still waiting for that giant announcement from Tops that was going to change the game, which we still haven't done it.
Yeah, biggest trading card announcement in a generation. We were promised in February. We're scratching the surface of July here, and we've still not heard anything.
National, it's gonna come out the National. I will be on the spot. I'll be able to cover that sucker. No problem.
That's it. I'm looking forward to your live streams from the National.
Right. So going back to Heritage before we rant more about Bunt. So then you can go and take your 50 uncommons. So if you have those extra 50, because you've already got 400 of them, so you're going there. You can get a Decal Edge pack. So they're kind of cool. It kind of looks like a postage stamp with the kind of the outside of out there. So again, unnumbered, so you have no idea how many are out there.
Oh God!
You can do 10 rare for a rare on Deckled Edge one, or 3 super rare for that there. So
that's interesting. That's interesting. That's an interesting ratio they're presenting there. That's basically 3 to 1, right? And I guess in the early days when we were trading, if you wanted a super rare, you would generally offer 3+ rares for a super rare. So it's kind of nice to see that ratio bear out in the way that they've structured that craft.
So if you look at the cards that we do the card value, so every card has a value to it. So your uncommons have, I think it's 1 point, or that's 0.7, which is really odd that it's on 7. And then a rare is 3 points, and a super rare is 9. And then your iconic are 10 or 25. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 25. So yeah, so they've done it on the point value and on how they've based the ratios there, because everyone's usually a 3 or 4 uncommons for a rare, because that's the point value thing going with that there. So yeah, so if you've got a shit ton of coins and you're really bored, have at it. You're gonna get a bunch of shit cards that have no value.
Yeah, I saw people really. So Heritage came out when was it? Friday just gone, or the week?
No, prior? the week before, because what came out this Friday was Series 2. So there was actually no cards come to just Series 2, which busts my nuts, because it's like I look forward to Friday at 6 o'clock. I've had my pizza. The kids are off playing video games. I get like half an hour to buy all the cards I need for the latest series. And it was Series 2, and with nothing there. I was like, oh, this is super disappointing.
An awful lot of genitalia references tonight.
I know. Apparently so. Mine's just in the gutter here. But yeah. So there's that. So yeah, so that was kind of disappointing, because I was kind of looking forward. I was sick on Friday, so I was just laying in bed. So I was like, at 6 o'clock, the drop's coming out. What am I going to...
Series 2.
Series 2. But I understand also. I mean, like a 2-month-long event to do Heritage, like you're going to need to save your coins for that. There.
Yeah, they're not going to overload you. And I guess that ties in nicely, because obviously Series 2 came out in the Series 2 is out in the physical world as well. So they've almost aligned those releases. Not perfectly, but, pretty close. Which they've gone up. So they were really hot on that at the start of the year, where they seemed to be lining up Bunt releases with physical, with Bunt and physical releasing pretty much the same time, and then they all went out of whack again. And now I suppose for flagship they're going to make the effort to do it for flagship.
But flagship's typically one of those weekly ones where you have to pay a lot of, $5,000 a pack, and you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting a rare. I mean, there's a lot of stuff now that don't even do rare ones. It's just that 1 in 20 chance to get a super rare, unless you want to spend coins. So again, it's disappointing to go, okay, well, I've got to drop 100K for the luck of maybe one card.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
So if you're a free to play player, it's been this year sucked. I said, like
Yeah.
there's no way to gain any coins unless you just absolutely go, I hate that set. I'm just gonna do the daily task and move on there, which I think ruins the game for me, where I'm enjoying the Star Wars app more because I have to trade people to build monuments and stuff like that there. So I can always open packs and trade with people and craft, where there's no point in crafting other than I need to get the reward. And or you're going for these heritage events and go, yes, sweet, I just spent $500,000 so I can craft for my one card that I have no idea what the card count is. So
yeah, I'm with you on the card count thing. That seems like they shouldn't take that away, and because like so you lose sight of rarity and value and whatever else. And yeah, that's kind of a shame. I haven't been on Star Wars for a little while actually. I should probably get back on there and go get my 15,000 free coins and a couple of cargo drops. I've not been on for a bit.
I think I'm burnt out at work, so I just kind of be like, all right, I'll just go open this up and craft a few things and then come back. Oh, I'll go craft some more. But saying that, with the heritage, they have announced a bounty. So previously it was the Drew Jones bounty that founded like 2 days.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I remember. I think we spoke about that because they were like, oh yeah, if you find this, because the idea was that the bounty would increase every day or something, right? They would add diamonds to the pot every day, and then it got found in like 8 hours or something stupid.
Yes. So everyone, okay, fine, we'll go after this. We'll go chase the card. So what they have now is the Freddie Freeman bounty. So if you can hit the 101 super refractor there, it is a 250,000 of diamonds. So and of course it does go up after a couple of days to see if they can do it there. But I guess same idea there. People are gonna either chase it or not. So it depends how many diamonds you have. If you want to go blow your money on this, feel free. I don't know. Me personally, I'm gonna do the uncommon set over the time there and go, okay, you've got me for my 400 packs and you suck. And I've won my coins on a set that I like but don't like. I said 1974 is a cool design. I like the design. Yeah, I really like the design. I think it's cool. It's fun. I think, but if I'm dwindling on coins, I'm going, well, Inception's not come out yet. Tribute's not come out yet. I'd happily blow most of my coins on those and not think twice about it, where Heritage is cool, but knowing that my minimum spend is 1.6 million to get the basic set, hard one to sell.
That is, yeah. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by what's happening outside my window because it's currently bucketing of rain and there's thunderstorms going on. So if you hear the rumblings in the background, it's not my stomach, although I have not had my dinner yet. Yeah, we're currently got some pretty hectic thunderstorms happening in the frozen north at the moment.
But the cool thing is they did come out with a London Series set. So you were able to get some London Series cards. So it was a fairly easy set of like 15 cards. It wasn't hard to complete. So for all of us in the UK that do play Bund, the London Series is out for the next 9 days or 8 days now. And kind of a nice thing to do. I did go back. That was one of the first things I did after we started really getting into that, was to go back and collect that set from 2019.
That segues us beautifully into our final episode of the final segment of the show. We would be remiss not to speak a little bit about the London Series. And ironically, I was very quickly going to mention another top story, which has taken me onto Topps' Twitter feed. And 2 minutes ago, they've just released the Topps Now cards for the London Series. So if you're watching the show live, get your wallets ready, people. Go Topps.com. Probably not on the UK site. So yeah, go Topps.com. And the MLB World Tour London Series Topps Now cards are available to purchase. Why was I on Topps Twitter feed? They've just announced tonight that the Topps MVP buyback program is coming back to 2023. So one of the biggest successes from the back end of last year that Topps did was launch this MVP buyback program, where they were basically turning your 10 pence commons into basically $20 of store credit. So I suppose US collectors will benefit far greater than we in the UK will. But yeah, I cannot remember who the MVPs for either league were last year. But if you have their
it's on your team.
No, I know, but that doesn't mean I know who it is. I'm currently repping 2 different teams, so you can't pin that on me. Come on.
Okay, it was Aaron Judge and Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, of course it was Judge. Like, why am I not thinking that?
That was like
yeah. Of course it was. Of course it was Judge. Right, I'm being stupid. Yeah. So it was Judge and Goldsmith last year, and those were the cards that you could redeem over the winter, basically for store credit. And so I guess whoever are the MVPs for this year, you'll be able to do the same later in the year. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that was 1 hour ago. Topps tweeted that. Get ready to rip because the Topps MVP buyback is returning to the lineup for 2023. In addition to this year's MVP hopefuls, you'll also want to hunt for ultra rare stamped cards of 2022 MVPs because if they repeat, you'll win big. And then there's a link to learn more. I'm not going to click that link because my computer's already chugging its eyeballs out. So yeah, there you go. There's 2 cool bits of Topps news. But London series, let's quickly touch on the London series. Like I say, Topps now cards are only just out, so go for it. In fact, the one that Topps has chosen to feature on their tweet, London Stadium at Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, 55,565 fans fill the London Stadium at Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. That's an interesting one.
So it is on the Topps UK site. They were selling them yesterday. They were selling them today. So you could buy the Paul Goldschmidt one yesterday there. So that's probably the first time there's ever been a Topps Now baseball release on their website. So you can buy it there. It's probably cheaper to buy it from the US if I'm not lying.
There's a reasonable chance of that, yeah.
But yes, we'll get back to the point you were trying to make there. But yeah, there is a 1 of 49 blue, 1 of 25 purple, 1 of 10 red, 1 of 5 orange, 1 of 1 gold. So it'd be interesting to see if they combine the sales from both Topps UK and Topps US.
Surely. I mean, the same card, right? You'd like to think so.
Yeah, so because I'm tempted to no, I'm not for £8. I'm really not tempted to buy one, but you never know. But yes,
are they not doing a set though?
No, I don't think they are.
Oh, nope. Usually with Topps Now, you could buy the individual cards, or you would have the option to buy the set. I think the last ones that perhaps we dabbled in, you dabbled in, were the Coronation cards, right?
Yes, they are there. So interesting enough, they are selling Topps Now cards on. Well, maybe not weird. The numbering's all weird. So they actually do have Topps Now cards for the baseball in there. So. But
it's very, very rare that they appear on Topps UK. I imagine since the last London series would have been the last time we had Topps Now baseball Topps Now cards available on Topps UK. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at this.
But they do, yeah. I mean, they have.
But you're right. There is no pack.
Yeah. So, but it seems to be kind of all over the place on which cards they've done for Topps Now or not, because I have one that's like card number 858. And right next to it is card 278. So yeah, I would buy it from Topps US just to be safe. But yeah. You never know. I guess, like I said, the advantage of not having to pay the shipping fees and the export and import fees on that there.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, they released a commemorative set as well. Topps did, which I think you could buy on the ground, both at the stadium and at the Trafalgar Square takeover. But you can still get that on Topps UK website. I haven't checked Topps.com to see if it's there. But that's a 25 card commemorative set, a bit like a team set, I suppose, because it's only £15. So you get 10 Cubs cards, 10 Cardinals cards. Oh, I almost said 10 cards, and that sounds terrible. 10 Cardinals cards and 5 unique image variations to go along with your 2 sets of 10 base cards. So no autographs or relics or anything like that to chase, but you do get 5 image variation cards. I guess time will tell if everyone gets the same image variations or if they're numbered or anything like that. I haven't seen frightfully much detail. The blurb that Topps puts on their product, especially in the UK, is essentially 6 lines of copy, and thanks very much. Cardboard Connection didn't appear to have it listed when I was researching the show just before we started, so I don't have any news on parallels or anything like that. At a £15 price point, just temper your expectation. You might get a pretty cool picture, and that's going to be your lot. But To answer your earlier text message, Jason, yes, I probably will buy one. Yes, I'll get one for you at the same time.
Fantastic. I just looked at they don't have any. Maybe we can get. You know what? I would take a mascot variation though.
That's it. Everybody loves a mascot card. Come on, it's like it's one of the that's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons that I like Big League, because Big League has mascot variations. I also like it because it's £40 a box.
Yes, it's in there. So, I'd be cool if I would actually buy that just for the shits and giggles of
for the shits and giggles. Yeah.
So
I mean, we don't often talk about individual baseball events on the show, but like I say, it would be remiss not to talk very briefly about the London series. Did you catch any of it?
I watched both games. I was at the pub on Saturday for it, and then I was racked in pain because I played baseball for the first time this year.
You didn't play baseball. What did you play?
I played banana ball, which was awesome. It was a lot of fun there. So if obviously with the Savannah Bananas being a huge hit and they're doing stuff there, I thought it would be good fun to give it a shot there, and it was a blast. So, but of course I went, I got an inning or two on the arm, and then pitched 2 innings, and now I can't lift my arm above my shoulder.
I was going to say, are you going to need a cortisone shot before Thursday, or?
And that was the whole thought. I was like, this would be a good thing to do before I throw out that first pitch, and I'm praying that my arm can make it to the plate now. I might have to learn to throw left-handed to see if I can make it there.
That's it, man. You gotta get that forkball working.
No. I threw a couple to a couple of the new guys that were there, and they couldn't catch it. And I was like, I'm not gonna try that in the game there. So if anything, maybe a curveball, but that's probably about it.
I was gonna say, if you made your pitch selection, you just going straight gas or what?
Oh yeah, because my gas, like it's gonna go from 60 to 40. So
yeah. You know how we laugh about position players pitching in games? Yeah, that's basically top level elite Scottish Baseball League pitching right there.
Pretty much, yeah. When those guys are bringing the gas at 60 miles per hour,
60 miles an hour, yeah.
Yep. That's the best pitching we're going to see there. So, I mean, there are guys who obviously pitch harder than that there, but it was an ongoing joke of that there. So yes, so I did watch both games. I thought, to be honest, the first game I was in the pub and there was a lot of people there I was just chatting to, and it was just kind of on, so it was kind of cool. But the second game I did watch there, and I thought Melanie Newman did a fantastic job of broadcasting the game there. I was very frustrated that it wasn't on MLB TV, and I pointed that out on my Twitter account, and everyone said it's on the BBC iPlayer, you idiot, as it is. Yes. So, but she did a fantastic job. I thought Xavier Scruggs did a great job as a color guy. Not familiar with him that much. Apparently, he had a cup of coffee for a year or two, because I was in that. And then Felix White did a good job of explaining the game to people who were probably just tuning in to go, "What's this funny Rounders game that's on my TV right now?" But what I found really interesting was that I went to the BBC to watch it, and it wasn't highlighted anywhere. Like, they were showing the Queen's tennis, and I was like, I do not care about the Queen's tennis.
Really, is Queen's Cup on already? That means Wimbledon must be coming up.
It starts today or tomorrow.
Check me with my tennis now.
I'm impressed.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
But I was like, I had to actually go and do the search and put in MLB, and it came up there. And but I was just like, I thought we're trying to promote this event, and if I have to do some digging to find this, you're not going to find the casual fan who's just going to turn into the game because it happens to be on and they don't want to watch tennis. But
I'm not sure the casual fan who's raking the dusty corners of the BBC Sport website, or indeed the BBC Red Button service, to try and find and go, oh, there's baseball. So yeah, I mean, I guess some exposure is better than no exposure. There was an unofficial drinking game going on, by the way, that every time your man Felix compared baseball to cricket, you had to take a shot.
Right.
Everyone was joking about how you'd be absolutely off your rocker by like the bottom of the first, because apparently that's all he does. Now, I watched a bit of the game on Saturday. I didn't watch any of the game on Sunday. So when I did, I watched the US broadcast. So I'll reserve my judgment on how good a job or not the UK casters did. But sounds like they're okay though.
You know what? If you've not heard Melanie Newman do a broadcast, she does a couple of the national ones, and I believe she's doing the Orioles, or she does something with the Orioles there. And she does a fantastic job. Like, I usually hate national broadcasts because it's so generic. Like the Apple TV broadcast, I'm gonna hang myself if he forced me to watch those things. They are just dry, and she's absolutely on the ball. She's funny, engaging. She did a good job of handing over to Xavier and Felix, and I thought it was hilarious because they brought out all the ballpark food, and Xavier just couldn't get enough of it. Like he was loving it.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I believe that Fanatics and MLB had tweeted about how they were reinventing the retail experience or something for a major US sporting event in the UK, and they seemed to reinvent it by making people stand in the queue for an hour in 31-degree heat. So well done, Fanatics, if that's what you were going for. If you're trying to kill off your customers, you're doing a fantastic job. And obviously, I'm telling that story rather colloquially, but I believe there were some exceptionally long lines for merchandise. Topps were there as well, of course. They were handing out unique London Series bunt codes, which didn't really get you anything exclusive. Did get you 100,000 coins and a bunch of different retail packs. So that was kind of cool. A big shout out to Paul Hepburn from the Bunt Group who hooked us up with some codes. That was very kind of him.
So it was really interesting because I'm on the Topps Reddit one, of course, because of course I am, and somebody had asked for a code, and I said I'd gotten one, and I said okay, it was 100K coins, which was fine, that's great there, and you got your 7-8 packs of Bowman and Top 100 and Series 1, and okay, sure, that was fine, but you see these things always advertised like, oh, if you're at the National, come and pick up your free pack here or that there.
Yeah.
I was really hoping there would have been a logo coin that we could have put up in our avatar, some exclusive cards that have been like, look. I mean, there would have only been 100 people, maybe 200 people that had these cards. It would have been super cool to say, hey, I got these cards because this event actually happened in our country I live in, whereas you guys can go, oh, look, it's the Topps van, and here I got a couple packs of cards.
Exactly. Yeah.
The crappy cards. We're like, free cards? You got free cards? We don't get free cards.
You don't get free anything.
So, but it was really interesting because a lot of people chimed in on that and said that's actually really disappointing because you can't always make it to the National to go up to the Topps bunt desk and get the free code there. So I would have proudly displayed my London Series cool avatar if I had one, but no such luck. So I'm really hoping that there is a bunt booth at the National and I can sit and chat with that guy for like a half an hour, and he's gonna hate me, but I'm gonna go chat to him for a half an hour. Why do you guys do this? Why do you do that?
Yeah, I imagine Topps Digital will have some kind of presence there. That's for sure. We could. I've literally remembered now. We're an hour. What are we? An hour and 12 minutes into the broadcast, and I've literally remembered that there's an NFT story from this week as well. But I'm going to save it for the next show because I believe one of the providers that Topps was using for their latest NFT platform has gone bust or something or collapsed. So that's fun. Well done. So Topps NFTs has just been a disaster from start to finish. But yeah, I'll save that for the next show. I'm going to dig that out of my mail. I just remembered that came in over the weekend.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I still have those NFTs. I wonder if they still exist.
Oh, goodness knows. Sam Bankman-Fried's run off of them, I'm afraid. He's long gone. Wow. Him and that Thanos check are like living it up in some island somewhere with all the money they stole. Anyway, enough topical satire for me about the NFTs and digital currency in detail. But yeah, for what I thought was going to be a very quick show because I'd done precious little research before we started, turned into another almost feature length edition. So I feel we should wrap it up there. Thanks very much to Laura for dropping in some comments during the show, for you guys for listening as well. This is the part where I would say we will be back in 2 weeks with our next live episode of Tea and Talks, but I guess that could be a little bit up in the air depending on Mr. Durr's movements on his vacation. So let's not commit to anything quite yet. I may pop up with something if we can't do a live show just the two of us. I may pop up with something solo, just for a bit of fun. We'll see. So let's aim for some live content of some description in 2 weeks' time. So that would be the 3rd of... No, not the 3rd. That will be the 10th of July for our next live episode. And this episode, of course, will be available as a podcast from next Monday, July the 3rd. But until then, Mr. Durr, safest of travels stateside. I look forward to you hopefully firing a delicious strike down the middle on Thursday for your first pitch shenanigans. I'm still harboring the merest of hope I can join you in Chicago, but we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, safe travels, man. Thanks again for this week.
Yep, it was. It's always good to chat and catch up on things there. And yes, yep. Wish me best of luck Thursday to make sure I don't bounce it to whoever decides to catch it. But fingers crossed, Harry Ford's available so I can throw it to him and I can get a nice picture with him. But
that's it. I'm looking forward to a million selfies.
Yeah, so there's a reason why I haven't announced it on Facebook or in my social medias yet, so I don't have everyone going, "How did it go?" Whereas I can just
you can just spring up there. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. If you're happy to watch this live or catch it before the podcast, I'm throwing out the first pitch at the Everett Aqua Sox single A for the Mariners there, and it will happen at 8 p.m. British time. So if you got nothing better to do on 8 o'clock, yeah, you can go see me and throw that first pitch out. It'll take all of a minute to go watch that, and then you can either laugh or not. But I've never watched any of the minor league games on previously, so I don't know if you can catch up on it later or not. But I'm sure you guys will let me know.
We shall see. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, just in case you're not aware, if you are an MLB TV subscriber this year, that does get you access to MILB as well, MILB TV as well. So you can watch all the minor league games live and on demand. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. I will try and find a link to that broadcast on Wednesday, and I'll be tweeting it out like a Mother Hubbard around about the time where it's due to go live. Jason, I guess as you alluded to, traditionally the broadcasts don't tend to go live until we're pretty much at the top of the first. But I know Aqua Sox, we're going to try and make a special effort for you to try and get it as part of the broadcast. So we'll see. That'd be kind of cool. Even if they replayed it at some point during the broadcast, that'd be pretty sweet. So that'd be a nice way to segue it in. But yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, it should be fun. Like I said, I'm bringing the crown, I'm bringing the cape. I got my UK Mariners shirt that I made up for it. What's the good thing about on Sunday was learning how to throw with the cape on. So it's more difficult than you think.
So you've got the cape, but still no kilt. Is that right?
You know what? Someone said you should bring the kilt. And it's like it's 30 plus degrees in Seattle. Like I've already swore a few times on here. We don't need to hear about my sweaty balls.
Yeah, I know. Enough of the genitalia references. Yeah, we'll save the swamp nuts discussion for a different episode. But yes, until then, like I say, safe travels, man. Hopefully I can join you. Like I say, I'm still entertaining the merest of hope I can make it to the National. Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for listening. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. The show is back as a podcast next Monday, 3rd of July at 9 p.m. You can join us again Monday, the 10th of July at 9 p.m. for some kind of live content. It might just be me. We'll see what we can arrange between us. And yeah, go vote for us. You've got 2 days left if you're still listening or you're watching us back on YouTube or whatever. 2 days left. Wednesday, 28th of June, the voting closes. The prize is announced on this Saturday, 1st of July. I may try and do a cheeky live stream or something from the award show. I'll see how that goes.
Like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Until then, stay safe, please. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Adios.